accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Giant King Mark here, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong. Last we left off, hey Gobbet. Fought some devil rats, met some of the locals, learned a bit more about what's gonna go down. And now here we are below deck. We're gonna try talking to finding Malvina or Cadmus. Hopefully we can learn a bit more about what's going on. Also, last episode, the screen kind of didn't show everything halfway through. I apologize in advance for that one, and I also apologize in advance for if this stream doesn't work. Anyway, let's roll. Let's start looking around. Local inhabitant. A middle-aged woman with a slouching posture stands with her back to a reinforced door. With a languid motion, she turns her head to stare at you. New folks, I'll be danged. She shifts her position with a grunt. The hell are you doing in here? We're looking for a friend of ours. Maybe you've seen her? She shakes her head. No. Nope, I ain't seen your friend. Sorry. You don't even know what our friend looks like yet. How can you say for sure that you haven't seen her? No one comes down here today but you. Not a soul. Didn't see anyone yesterday either. And I can't remember much past then. She smiles, revealing a crumbling set of nicotine-stained teeth. Bad memory. Can't do a thing about it. Who are you? Name's Lisa. You can just call me Lise, though. Everybody on the raft does. What's behind that door there? She runs her tongue over her teeth. Storage closet. Nothing worthwhile in there. Don't even know why they have me standing watch over the thing. Those are the rules, right? And you can't question the rules. If there's nothing worthwhile in there, then it couldn't hurt to let us have a look around, could it? She frowns, thinking. I guess that it couldn't. I mean, you can't steal nothing, can you? So how about it? Will you open the door for us? She reaches back and pulls a lever. You hear the mechanical scrape of the door unlatching itself. Here you go. Knock yourselves out. Sweet. Another door. Local inhabitant. Inspect. This door is heavily reinforced and barricaded. It'll take a bulldozer to get it open. Sick dwarf. A stocky dwarf leans up against the wall of the container room. His skin is sallow, and it hangs off his bulky frame like a half-deflated balloon. You saw plenty of sick people back in the Barrens. Addicts, BTL heads, people whose immune systems have been ravaged by disease. This guy looks worse. Hello, stranger. Don't see many new faces on the raft these days. He sighs. Well, you're here, so you want something. Now, what would that be? Isabel pushes forward. We're friends of Gobbet's. Seen her around? He chuckles. Friend, if you're looking for Gobbet, you're about 3 years too late. Your friend ain't here, and you stumbled in the worst kind of place to be lost. Are you Cadmus? He appraises you, a neutral look on his face. Finally, he nods with a grunt. Yeah, that's me. You haven't seen Gobbet lately, have you? Nope. Haven't seen the girl in years. I'd love to, mind you. She was a good friend way back when. What's wrong with this place? Aside from the uninvited guests, you mean? He struggles to stifle another cough. We've got a rat problem. We've noticed. Don't let what's happened to me happen to you, too. You want my advice? You get out of here, and you do it before you get bit. He gestures at the sweat-damp heaps of cloth that line the walls around him. If you don't, you might just wind up on your deathbed here, right by my side. We'll leave you in peace. Yeah, you do that. If you should happen to find Gobbet, bring her by. I haven't seen her in a long time. It'd do me good to talk to her again before I die of this damn disease. We found Cadmus! Inhabitant? The woman standing guard duty nods in acknowledgement. Strangers, you picked a bad day to come to visit. And you're a terrible door guard. Or aren't you looking out for gun-tying strangers? Well, we aren't visiting, really. We're looking for a friend. And you're out of luck. I haven't seen anyone from outside of quarantine in weeks. You want to talk to someone, talk to the dwarf. I'm busy. She hefts her weapon, her eyes glued to the door. I need to keep my eyes open for more of those little bastards. We can't let any more of them sneak in here. Not after what happened to Simon. Best of luck. Let's see where this leads. Some tags. They seem relatively fresh. They haven't been here long. Open door? Ship inhabitant. The man standing before you looks cleaner than most of the other squatters in the sinking ship. There are no streaks of grease on his cheeks, and his clothes look freshly laundered. He leers at you as you approach. Well, what do we have here? Strangers on our humble raft exploring her leaky bowels? The man grins, revealing the cavernous gap in his teeth. He hefts a snifter, brimming with cognac in salute. Welcome to the sinking ship, strangers. Now tell me what you want. Who are you? You may address me as Mercurio. He bows slightly, the cognac sloshing in his glass. At your service. Looking for a friend of ours, an orc, 19 years old, goes by the name of Gobbet. Oh, and she ran away from you, did she? He grins. Ran all the way here to our little palace on the water? Have you seen her or haven't you? Insistent little thing, aren't you? He puts his lips to the crystal in his snifter and slurps up a mouthful of liquor. No, I haven't seen your runaway friend. But if I do run into her, I'll let you know. I'll tell her that you're looking. What do you do on the raft? A bit of this, a bit of that. I'm an artist, or rather I used to be. An artist and a socialite, and a man about town. He spreads his hands. By town, I mean raft, of course. Now I mostly find myself shut away here, on the sinking ship's upper deck. I've been festering away here for months, desperately clinging to the finer things in life. He sniffs. Quite the tale of woe, really. That's it? You just loiter around and socialize? A fine and noble profession. He takes another sip, swirling the brandy in his mouth. But you're street-level operative, no? Blue-collar work. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Now, if that will be quite all, he comes to the door. We'll leave you to your business. Well, he's got nothing of price. Oh god! This squatter is in need of immediate medical attention. Her torso was a gory mess, and an ever-expanding pool at her feet tells you that she's well on the way to bleeding out. She peers at you through sunken eyes, set in an alarmingly gray face. Please, help me. Hold still, this might sting a bit. You crack open a medkit and go to work. Within minutes, you run a saline drip into her arm and seal the wound with liquid skin. A final slap patch of adrenaline and painkillers gets the woman up and onto her feet. Shakily, she extends a hand in greeting. I don't know who you are, strangers, but you just saved my life. If I can ever return the favor, you just let me know. Looking for a friend of ours, female orc, 19 years old. Have you seen her? She shakes her head. Afraid not. I haven't been able to focus much as I took that bullet in the gut. Been fading in and out. If your friend is here, then I hope she managed to avoid the welcoming committee. The two locals that we met up topside, you mean? An elf and a dwarf? She nods. I don't trust them, and you shouldn't either. Don't know where their loyalties lie. We'll keep it in mind. Thanks for letting us know. She shrugs. Like I said, I owe you my life. Giving you a friendly warning is the least I can do. What's your name, friend? Maria Lamb. My friends call me Sparrow. It's good to meet you, Sparrow. She chuckles. Better luck for me that I met you. If I hadn't, I think I'd have bled out by now. How'd you get shot? I was part of the last mutiny attempt. Made it through that alright, but I guess I also made some enemies. I don't know who shot me, but it's a fair bet that someone on this boat is holding a grudge. We'll let you get on your today. Alright, but if you need anything else, you know where to find me. So those two people we met up topside aren't to be trusted. Got it. Ship inhabitant. A slender human woman in shabby overalls looks up from her work with a frown. You can't help but notice the scars on her neck. Do I know you? What are you doing on this raft? Oh god. We're looking for a friend of ours. She's an orc, 19, goes by the name of Gobbet. Have you seen her? Her eyes narrow. Gobbet? I haven't seen her for years. You got the wrong raft. Now, unless there's anything else. What's your name? She eyes you waringly. I'm nobody important, just a worker trying to keep this thing afloat. Let's leave it at that, if you please. Have you had any close encounters with the devil rats? Yeah, don't go downstairs unless you absolutely have to. The lower decks are absolutely crawling with the things. Leave you to your work. Yeah, thanks. And be careful out there. Terminal. Water drips down from a leak in the ceiling to splatter against the case of this ancient terminal. It's a miracle that the thing still functions. The thing is still functional. A blinking green cursor awaits your input. Access it. Post serve 1.1 freeware mail client user Chung Sung Anson. New regs, damned rats, quarantine meeting. First message. To Malvina. We need to talk about these new regulations that you keep handing down. Look, I used to be a merchant marine. I get it. I know how the important procedure is on a boat. I know the mindset that you're working against. But some of these new regs are bordering on draconian, and they're getting in the way of our maintenance crews downstairs. Order is a good thing. Micromanaging isn't. So let's talk about it, okay? Hey, viewer. Give me a sec. Hey, D. Merry Christmas, by the way. Merry Christmas to you, too. The stream coming in alright? Yesterday, I tried streaming, and half of the episode was a black screen. So just keeping my eyes up. We've got a hell of an infestation going on in the lower levels. Oh, this is the Cadmus. And we need to start doing something about it. Can I count on you and your boys to help me with this? I know that Em would frown on what I'm proposing, but she isn't doing anything to help. We have to take matters into our own hands before things get ugly. Alright. Third message. Okay, good. I don't know what happened with yesterday. Probably was the rain, but... Again to Cadmus. This was exactly what I was afraid of, see? Those bloody rats have eaten us out of house and home, and now that the fruit supply is gone, they decided to turn on us. It's pretty clear that Egg can't or won't use her magic to fix this, so it's on us to deal with the fallout. I've had the upstairs maintenance crew set aside a couple of containers as a quarantine area / sick room. It's inevitable that we're gonna start seeing people getting sick, and we need a place to shelve them. If we don't do this, we're gonna have a panic on our hands. Vidice deaths aren't pretty. Oof. Read the fourth message. Yes. Tell your oh, this is from to Yassine. Yes, tell your brother that I got his note and that I'll be there. I don't know what all this is about, but I have a guess, and if I'm right, well, I'm in. Things have to change around here for all of our sakes. Sounds like something went down here. Going by this look, it ain't pretty. These scratches look like they were made by claws, but they're much bigger than... Oh, yeah. They're definitely bigger than what the rats can do. Shouldn't have that. Another squatter, this one more beaten up than most. Bloody bandages wrap his knuckles, and one of his orbital sockets has been crushed, deforming the silhouette of his face. He peers at you with a mixture of suspicion and hostility. Don't recognize you. That means that you're new here. His voice comes out on a hoarse croak. You picked a bad place to go sightseeing, outsider. You okay, man? You don't look so good. No, I'm not okay. I'm all beaten up and going blind in one eye. Now tell me what you want so I can be on my way. He spits his words out like venom. We're looking for a friend of ours, a female orc about 19 years old. Calls herself Gobbet. Haven't seen her. Sorry. What's your name? My name? Ivan. Ivan Fu. That's all? Can I go? Tell me about the sinking ship. I want to hear what your take on what's happening here. It's all going to shit. Rats everywhere, people dying, smells like a garbage scow. He grunts. Does he satisfy your curiosity, outsider? Can you tell me more? It's important. Look, I ain't the damned welcoming committee. I'm just a bloody old man who wants to go back to his squat. If you want to know more about the boat, ask somewhere else. I'll leave you be then. This is getting interesting. And those two people that we met, the welcoming committee, sounds like we can't trust them. The local up ahead beckons you forward. It's just up this way. This door here. As you approach, something catches your eye. A vent in the wall behind the locals. Movement. Something living must be hidden inside. Behind you, more devil rats! Panic-stricken, they begin to turn, their weapons raised. There's a flurry of motion and something large explodes out of the vent. Gobbet lands in a crouch, her weapon raised. Don't go in there, it's a trap! Gobbet? Down you go. Knew it! We've been had! But we found Gobbet. Now we can bring her to Cadmus. Nice! She'll bleed out. Nice. The bloody local tosses her gun aside and raises a pair of trembling hands. Her eyes have gone wide with terror. I'm sorry. We didn't want to do it. We didn't have a choice. Words come spilling out in a frantic babble. It ordered us to. What it? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. I don't know what it is. It talks with Malvina's voice, but it isn't her. Helpless tears stream down her cheeks, clinging to her skin like beads of dew on a leaf. If you want to live, you have to do what it says. I'm going to let you live. Don't make me regret it. The squatter collapses against the wall, sobbing uncontrollably. Gobbet dusts herself off and paces towards you. Hey, Seattle. I don't remember inviting you on this run, but I guess that I'm glad that you can make it. She jerks her head toward the squatter's ruined body. You're welcome, by the way. Are you alright? We came here looking for you. Really? I thought you were visiting a sinking ship for its wonderful food and beautiful views. She flashes you a weak smile. And yeah, I'm okay. Look, I'm sorry for the sudden entrance and everything. I wish that I had time to explain what was going down, but I didn't because, well... She shrugs. Trap. Yeah, you mentioned that. What kind of trap are we talking about? The kind where you end up dead. Look, I don't know exactly what they were planning to do, but I've seen them lead people through those doors before. She gestures toward the heavy double doors at the end of the hall. The people who I watched go in there never come back out again. Not a one. They just scream and scream, and when the doors open up again, they'd be gone. Well, thanks for the warning. She shrugs. Don't mention it. There's a long, awkward pause. Finally, Isabel steps forward. So, now that we're all together, do you want to tell us why you came all back here all by yourself? We have gone with you. We'd have gone with you, Gobbet. All you had to do was tell us. She raises her hands. Yeah, I know, but I figured that this one was on me, and I didn't want to wait another minute. Besides, I had a plan. You're on a boat full of hostiles, by yourself, in the dead of night, being hunted by devil rats. That doesn't sound like a great plan to me. I didn't come here to fight, Seattle. This is a recon mission. I wanted to scope the place out, and it's easier to do that solo than it would have been dragging you two along. No offense. So you scoped out the place out. Fine then, mission accomplished. Do you know what you're gonna do now? Yeah, this place is fucked. I'm gonna sink it. Wait a second, what? The sinking ship is doomed, Seattle. I could feel that the second I set foot on board. She checks herself. Earlier than that even. On some level, I think that I could feel it back home. That's why I couldn't stop thinking about this place. Whatever is happening here, it's wrong. This whole place feels off to me somehow. Maybe even toxic. I came to find my friends, Cadmus and Malvina, to check on them. Instead, I found a swarm of man-eating rats, a death trap, and a bunch of squatters who seem intent on killing me. Her tone becomes brisk. So, I'm gonna kill them right back. And I'm gonna use the scaling charges that are still embedded in the hull to do it. I've already handled the ones on this level, but I haven't gone down below yet. We need to activate the charges before the waterline if we're gonna sink this sucker. If we're gonna bring this sucker down. And so that's where you're headed next. Downward? Not quite. On account of the trap, I don't know how they get past it yet. She frowns. Minor setback, right? So my next step was to figure that out. You still got friends on this raft, Gobbet. We ran into Cadmus earlier. He wants to see you. That's great. Well, the people on this raft, Cad is the one I most trust to get us past whatever is in that room. He was always more of a mechanic than he was a shaman. We have to figure out how to get past the trap. I get that. But let's keep our eyes wide open while we're doing that. There could be more going on here than you realize. I seriously doubt it. Remember what I told you about second guessing? He isn't second guessing anything. We haven't seen enough to make a decision yet. You may have, but we haven't. Gobbet lets out an exasperated sigh. Alright, you wanna go look around? We'll do that. But afterwards, we're arming the rest of those charges. Let's move. And now, we got our friend back. Inspect. Oh wait, that's that. Cadmus, look who we got. The dwarf's milky eyes track you as you approach. A wave of recognition washes over his face, but his movement remains lethargic. Eventually he manages to slur out a few words. Gobbet, back after all this time. Yeah, I'm sorry it's taken so long. She stares at the dwarf wide-eyed. It's good to see you again, Cad. It's good to see you too, kid. Another coughing fit bends him over. I see you found your friends. She nods. Yeah, found them. You don't look very good, Cadman. Well, I'm breathing. Kinda. He gestures to a rack of makeshift beds arranged around him. The cots are crammed full of the dead and dying. It's more than I can say for some. She swallows. Cadmus, Save it, I'm not mad. He squeezes his eyes shut. I'm mostly just happy to hear your voice again. It's good to have a friend. You sick, Cadmus? He grins. Between his sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, the end result is ghastly. Ill? I would say so. Deathly ill. Vice is a real bitch. Even a neutered strain like this can really knock you on your ass. You'll be okay, Cad. You're a dwarf. And a shaman. There's 2 big points in your favor. You're gonna walk this off, you'll see. Spare me the pep talk, I'm too tired to walk. He coughs up into his sleeve. Cad. Save it. I know what my chances look like, and they ain't good. I've seen a lot of our friends loaded into these cots, Gobbet. They all went out in garbage bags. Anyway, he wrestles his mouth into a friendly smile. Let's talk about something else, huh? All this doom and gloom is getting to me. Tell me what's happening here. Bad things. A lot of good people died. Something's gone wrong on this raft, Gobbet. You know what I mean. Toxic. Yeah, I can feel it too. I could feel it all the way back home. Her throat moves, but it takes a moment for her voice to catch up. Cadmus, where are our friends? What happened to Yasim and Anson and Malvina? Anson's dead. He never even made it into the sick room, just disappeared. But I know where he went. He stabs the figure downward at the floor. Yasim's still with us. Small favor's right. The fight has gone out of her. She's content to do what she's told and tremble. Malvina ain't Malvina anymore. What is she? I don't know what it is. It's definitely toxic, but as for what it is... His voice chills off. Cadmus stares up at Gobbet helplessly. Malvina went off the rails because of that damn bauble that I gave her. That's what's happened, isn't it? It ain't her, Gobbet. It's something else. He struggles to contain another cough. Eventually it passes. But yeah, that shiny red egg that you and Swede lifted is the cause of it, I think. The ugliness was already inside of her, but that thing brought it out. She squeezes her eyes shut, balls her hands into fists. Shit! Cadmus, you said that Malvina isn't herself anymore. So what is she? You ever heard of a rat king? It's an old folklore thing. Bunch of rats all fused together. Their tails all wrapped and twisted into a great big knot. Yeah. That's what Malvina has become. I don't know how many different spirits she's tied her essence to, but the last time I opened my third eye to her, I couldn't see where they began and where they ended and she began. What does that even mean? I've never heard of it mean that she ain't human anymore, girl. Her aura has bound to other things, alien things, all tangled and twisted and grown together. They're all one being now, a rat king. It talks like Malvina, but it ain't her anymore. Jeez. Kind of give me an idea for what one of my characters is going through right now, but more on that later. So this rat king is still human, physically speaking? Don't know. I've heard rumors that Malvina's meat body is changing too. Haven't seen it myself. Don't know if I want to. Another long, wet cough interrupts his speech. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. The talisman that the Rat King is holding. The shiny object. Do you know how it works? Nah. I tried sensing it once. The only thing that I took away from the experience was a migraine. Felt like there were railroad spikes buried behind my eyes for days. All I can tell you is for certain is that it still works. As long as the Rat King's connected to that thing, you can't hurt it. Any holes that you put into its body will close up on their own. So what are we expected to do against it? If the bauble makes the thing unkillable, then you'll need to find a way to get that bauble away from it. Gobbet managed to do that during Swee's rebellion. I bet that she could do it again. Did you try to fight this Rat King? Yeah, I've had enough. A lot of us had. It was just at the writhing bodies tossed in the sick room. That I couldn't. Now after learning what it was. Our friend is dead.